I'm just going to get it all out. Because apparently I needed to do this. So when I feel like crying, I'm going to cry and not keep pretending that it don't hurt me. I'm going to feel it and release it. And release it all. And still walk with myself. Continue with myself. Seeking my higher self. No matter how bad it hurts, I'm going to keep on climbing to be my higher self. And I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know what it feels like already. It's just so much room in between where I am and where I imagine that place to be as my higher self. I feel like I'm close, but I am going to have to do some work, some real work. I have to give up some things that I thought I could give up easily, but I can't because of the situation I'm in. I spend a lot of time by myself. It feels like I'm on a different, not a different planet, but in a different sphere, some like a different realm, and I'm in a bubble walking around people, unnoticed. People don't notice me. But when they notice me, they're shocked. I get that sometimes. When I'm out, people look at me as if I'm an alien. I can tell. And I don't know what that is. I need to understand that about myself. I need to understand what people are looking at. I need to know what people are looking at. What am I saying to them to get the reactions that I get from them when I'm out? I still got a little bit in me to get out. Normally I would run or do something intense. Sex would be pretty good right now. But, nah, it's not that kind of aggression. I don't make love like that. um, I would take a walk in the park, but cut my foot. So, if I can't figure out a way to be out and not endanger myself with germs on my foot, I probably need to stay in. But I eventually got to go out sometime. I'm running out of food. I gotta go re-up and just be able to get out. Well, I don't know if anyone will ever see this. This little, I'm not going to make fun of it. I was going to call it a little pity party to make light of it, but it was significant for me to do and share with you, how I was feeling. But it's going to be all right. I let my ego, excuse me, y'all. I let my ego get the best of me, and I cried, and That was me being, well, that wasn't a baby. That wasn't a tantrum. That was me being disappointed in the abilities that I thought I had. They didn't come through for me. And so that's okay, but um the heartfelt, you know, sharing and all that, with me feeling the way I just felt, that comes from me wanting to grow, and know, and then finding out that I got a lot more growth, you know, still. I mean, who the fuck I think I am at 53? I know I don't know everything, but it's disappointing when you find out you didn't know as much as you thought you did. And I think really that, in the core of me, is what made me cry like that. Because I thought I had that shit in the bag. I started counting my money and visualizing my lifestyles and all the people I would help. But it's going to happen. This is a learning process for me. I'm finding out what I don't know, and then I need to work on that. And then that'll be my way up to where I'm trying to get to. But there's some learning involved. I'm not just going to, I don't think that I'm just going to be there. No one does that. Everyone becomes who they are because all of the steps that they took, even if they're missteps. And none of it is missteps. So that was a blow to my ego, for sure. So I need to humble myself. And I need to really know spirit better. I really need to know that better, because spirit is constantly helping me, but if I don't see it as help, then I will fuck up. you know? But everything is going to be okay. Because this, I think my soul is saying, if you want to be the boss, you're going to have to pay the cost. And what that means is, in every form, I'm going to need to be responsible for myself. At every turn, in every way, I need to be responsible for myself. That is the freedom, and that is the price. That is, that is the security that everyone is looking for, really. To know what it feels to be responsible for yourself, because it feels just as comfortable as finding someone who is always there for you and always knows what you need and how to talk to you, and and how to get the best out of you, and all those great qualities, so that you are drawn, your higher self is drawn out of that. You can be that for yourself, and that is better than someone taking care of you who you can trust. That someone should be you. You should be the one that you can trust most with yourself and your well-being. So, since we have been in slave mode for so long, dependency, where we don't have the upper hand, there's always someone over us, whether it's deity, whether it's external demons, I guess I would call them, because they draw your attention away from what's real and what you what really represents love and enjoyment of life, joy, all the fruits of the Spirit, but we're wrapped up into all this other stuff. So we just forget we forget what's real. We forget who we are in terms of our roles in this whole, whatever we're doing, our roles in this. We've forgotten our roles. And what we need to remember is that no one is responsible for us until they can be responsible for themselves. And that's in reverse as well. We cannot be responsible for anyone else until we are responsible for ourselves. I hope that makes sense. I'm not saying be selfish, but in a sense I am. What I'm saying is being selfless is on the other side of being selfish. You have to take care of yourself. Being selfish means that taking care of yourself, putting yourself first. But when you have all that you need, then you are more inclined to give of yourself. As long as you have enough for yourself, then you can give the abundance of what you have to offer beyond to yourself. So you give all that you can to yourself. That's what I'm saying. And then when your cup runneth over, when you have more than what you need, it makes you want, and you're happy, it makes you want to share. And so do that. But don't try to share something you don't have. Don't try to share something that you want for yourself, because if you feel like, begrudgingly when you giving to someone, then you don't have enough to give to them, because you're not supposed to feel that way when you give. You're supposed to be happy to give. Almost like you get something out of it when you get to give, and you really do. But you have to be in that space to be able to cheerfully give like that. You can't give to someone, you can't give and love it if you need it for yourself. And if you need it for yourself, then don't give it. That's all I'm saying. Wow, I'm starting to feel better. I'm glad I decided to film this. I did not know I was going to react the way I did. This is a two-part video. Today is March 7th, 2018. It's Thursday. I decided to turn the video back on so we could see all of it. So, but I'm down right now. I ain't out for the count though. So I'm gonna do like I said in some other videos that I did. I'm down. I ain't getting back up real quick. I'm assessing. How the fuck did I do this? How did I get here again? What happened? And I ignored my counsel. I didn't listen to Spirit. I'm going to be okay. But I think Spirit kind of interfered to help me through the rough spots that I might have had to, that I may endure, right? But I'm just gonna buckle in, and I'm not afraid for whatever's coming. I'm not afraid. I'm just gonna keep on fighting with the time I have and with my resources right now. I'm going to keep on going. But I made note of this mistake, or misstep, I should say. And I'm acknowledging Spirit and asking for forgiveness for not listening. I know it's not about that, but that's still some stuff I got to get off of myself also. Because I'm the one that did this, made the choices. So there was something I needed to feel, that I needed to bring to my own attention about. So I had to bring myself backtrack the progress that I thought I was making. And I was making progress, but in the wrong frame of mind. That job was putting me back into the job mentality frame of mind of thinking. So I had to get out of it again. Because I'm looking for what feels good to me. And if I keep letting that kind of stuff sneak back in, I'll be right where I started. On a deeper spiritual level. It's easy to walk away from the job, but it's more difficult to undo the psychological and the emotional ties that these situations bring to me, because they're deep-seated. They go back childhood. And I'm going and doing some very carefully constructed surgery on myself to try and remove, not cut them out, but remove, or to transform them into something that's going to help me, not hurt me. And so I'm dissecting every part of myself so that I can see and understand and accept. I have to digest, but I have to dissolve this stuff so I can digest my fears and childhood scars and stuff like that. I have to find them and bring them to surface, embrace them, because that's how they dissolve. Embrace all of your bullshit with love. Embrace all of it with love. And then it will dissolve. Its purpose is no longer needed. It's not necessary, because it brought you what it came to bring you. And then you'll feel freer and more expanded. And that's how you know you would have elevated closer to your higher self. That's how I feel right now. If you go follow the whole video, you'll see my demeanor is changing. You see me calm down and get a hold of myself. Take a little bit more control, but in a flowing manner. Because to control is to constrict yourself, restrict yourself, tie your own self up with all these damn rules. So what we have to do to be more fluid in our lives, and to be more creative, and to be more inspirational, which is guidance from the Spirit. In order to do that, we need to free ourselves to be fluid, to float. Because that's what I believe the fifth dimension is about. it feels to me, my world right now is like, it feels very dreamy. Yeah, there's some punches here and there, but a couple of things are going on with me at the same time. I'm expanding and I'm contracting all at once. I'm taking these big breaths in the universe, and then I'm inhaling down to my darkest secrets and bullshit and fucked up stuff about myself. But I'm blowing it out, and I'm inhaling the spiritual gifts. So I'm trading. I'm being reconstructed. I'm trading my bullshit when I exhale for spiritual gifts from the universe that replace the bullshit that I had in me. And it's a lot. A lot of bullshit with me. A lot of, and when I say bullshit, I don't mean like trifling stuff. I mean just real limiting beliefs. I mean, slave shackle shit that's chaining me because I won't stop believing something that someone told me or presented to me. And now it's like I'm bound to it. It's bound to me. I'm tied up, and I'm starting to want to get away, but I can't get away because who I fight is myself. And I'm a tough cookie. I'm a tough fucking cookie. You ain't gonna fight with me and get out of it with no scars on you. I'm gonna fight with you. I've been on both sides. I'll fight you to fight. I'll fight you for you to not blow your life up. I will fight with you. I will wrestle you to the ground. I have a savior complex. I must save people. And I am fighting with myself on what I'm going to do. What you want to do, Stacy? And it's a really fucked up feeling when you are fighting against yourself, for yourself, all at once. And this is a fight for balance, because when you're balanced, you're level, you're one, perhaps with yourself in terms of this conversation, but you're one, and one within and one without. It's like you're on point, literally. And you'll be like the eye of the storm. Your world would be just as calm and cool, and all kinds of shit will be going on around you, but it just ain't. It won't touch you. It won't affect you. That's how centered you will be. And then some other stuff will probably happen to keep seeing how centered you are. There's so many lessons, especially if who you think you are is way beyond what you ever believed. I keep getting glimpses of it. I get visions of myself. I see myself. I've seen myself in the future. I'm in training right now. And I know that's what this is about too. I have so many things going on. I'm trying to project who I am inside to people outside. That's what the video's about. I need to see what I look like. I'm writing. I feel like now I just want to start writing my book. I'm I'm doing a lot of stuff, but I still feel like I'm not doing it more efficient enough, doing it with being serious. And I got to get serious. So I need to stop doing some things and start doing other things. I need to lay my herb down, and I need to pick up my exercise, going to the gym. I think I've paid Planet Fitness for almost a year, and I haven't gone in probably a year by now. That is that's crazy. That is stupid. So I need to do the things that's going to lift me up. I need to pray more and meditate more. I need to, read more, feed my soul. I want to volunteer my time somewhere. And I need to find love. And I can't find it if I'm holed up in my apartment and I don't go out for days. I haven't gone outside since Saturday, and it's almost Saturday again. But I know in my soul, this is not depression. What it feels like is I'm being protected, and and I'm in a learning bubble. So this is not, I'm not just waiting. Lessons are coming to me because I'm being prepared for something that I got to go out and get, or I got to go out and do. This is very private. What's happening to me right now, for me right now, is very private. But the universe is very close to me now, and I'm fortified. I'm being taken care of right now. But I'm in an incubator, and when I'm big enough to leave the incubator, I'm gonna be a tough cookie. Well, not tough. I'm gonna be a bad bitch. That's the only way I can say it. You know, yeah, that's what I'm working on. And there's still some fears, and there's still some insecurities. I know. I'm really in touch with myself. I've always been in touch with myself, but I'm not ignoring the physical pains that go along with the spiritual pains and all of that, all the emotion. I'm very aware. I become very aware of when I feel like something. I can identify what that feeling is, and I know because I recognize, again, I tell you that I recognize emotions as messengers, as messages. There's something that emotion is telling me about myself, and I need to stop and think about it. And so once I have, and I know I have some insecurities, and those insecurities are lead to certain fears. So I need to work on that because that's doable. Um, Most of the time, my insecurities are that I don't know how to do something as good as I should, and I get publicly humiliated, or something terrible happens and I get embarrassed in front of a lot of people. Well, if I get embarrassed, then I need to um, invoke what embarrassment feels like. Like imagine myself being in that situation already, feeling devastated or embarrassed like I'm trying to avoid. And then figure out how I would make that, turn that energy into something powerful. And what I think of is I could make fun of it, make light of it. Because if I can do that, then that's me loving myself enough to say, whatever, you know, instead of letting it wound me and pierce me and darken me in my spirit. That's not what it's for. No one means me any harm. So if I do something like this story I was gonna tell in one of the other videos, but I'll tell it now. When I was running back and forth, it was raining outside, it was still wet, and I was living with my grandmother at the time, and it was raining outside, and I was running late, and I kept forgetting stuff every time I got in the car, so I had to run back out into the house. And in the meantime, my grandmother, she's standing there watching me run back and forth over to the side with her hands on her hips, going back and forth. I can imagine what she thought, that this girl was crazy. So finally she says to me, she starts saying, you better hurry up, you're going to be late. Aren't you supposed to? And I kept saying, Grandma, I know what time it is, and I'm not going to be late. And I was, kind of giving her some lip. And I I must have done that 3 times, run back and forth in the house. And the last time after I said that to her, I slipped. I could feel myself slipping because my feet had gotten wet from the rain. And I couldn't help it. It was nothing I could hold on to. I felt if that would have been a shot in slow motion with me just falling, trying to grapple for stuff, the counter and everything. I grabbed a garbage can and knocked all the trash all over myself and still landed on my butt in the kitchen. And then my grandmother said, now see, that's what God will do. He'll knock you on your ass for talking to me like that. And we both hollered. It was just so funny that I did that. That's what you got to do, even in your public. Now, it was just me and her. But how would I have felt if that would have been out in the open, in front of people, on YouTube, on the people that I'm trying to get to, join me? What if it would have been that? That's my fear. And if I fear that, then I may be putting myself in a position where I draw that kind of energy to me and that shit happens. So what would I do? How would I love myself in that moment? For me, it's providing humor. So I'd laugh the shit out of that. And, it's just, it's something you did. And just laugh at it. Don't take it in. Don't absorb it. Don't make it something that is not meant to be. Just embrace it with love through laughter. So I am going to go now. I don't have much else to say. And I've gone from being upset and crying to laughter. And now I can see clearer that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is okay. It's all right. It's all right. Everybody knew you was going to decide what you decided. Everybody but you. And now you know too. Hey, this is Dr. Stacy Parker, and I'm glad you stayed to listen to the commentary from me. Today is actually January 7th, 2024. So this message is way beyond the time that I said that I would use to show contrast in the messages that I left way back in 2018 to maybe 2017 and up to 2023. But this message is made in the new year of 2024. This is the last message, I think, before the workbook is going to be completed. So by the time you get this message, it may be sometime afterwards, but it's in the same year. I wanted to spend some time kind of in commentary for this message because you see at the beginning that I was in tears, and it was kind of more of me continuing from the previous video. It's all the same video, but I broke it up into two parts. I was crying at the beginning of this video, and then you see at the end how my whole demeanor changed. My face lit up. I was laughing. I was making light of things. I started seeing the nuggets that was in my experience that I could take in order to bring what I said I wanted for myself to fruition. And what I wanted was this. I wanted to understand what my purpose was at the time and still is. And it kind of came out through me working it out loud with myself. First letting myself cry and feel the emotions of what I thought was a mistake that I had made in my decision. But what actually happened is once I made that decision, everything shifted for that to happen. And it happened so quickly until I thought I had made the wrong decision. No, I should not have taken that job. And I thought that the job came because Spirit was taking care of me. And that could have still well have been the truth. I believe it was. But it was not exactly what I was asking for in the first place. My purpose is not tied or connected to how much money I make. I'm going to make that anyway. But what my soul's desire is, and was in that moment, is to understand my uniqueness, to understand the thing that I have that no one else has, and that is the power to be myself, unapologetically be myself, and you have the same power. Go back over this video and see, and write notes and see the information that can connect, or you can connect with, or see the information and the nuggets of wisdom in it that you can use. Can you connect with what I'm talking about? Can you see yourself in this video? Has this happened before in your life? And I'll tell you, for me, from that video you just saw to the one or the audio that you're listening to right now, some of that has happened again. I've made progression, but you do know that, I'll use this analogy. You do know that when you go to school, you start out in kindergarten, then you work your way up to maybe the last grade in elementary school, which is probably 5th or 6th grade. And then there's junior high, or what's called middle school, which is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Then there's high school, which is 9, 10, and 11, and 12th grade. So there's 12, maybe 13 years of school before you actually get to higher learning, which is college, and then graduate school, and in my case, a master's level called a doctorate, basically. That's when you're the expert. I went through all of those steps in school. But the analogy I want to make is this. The years that you spend in school, starting in kindergarten, you start at the very bottom or at the very beginning. And then you work your way through progression by proving that you know the information and that you can demonstrate or apply, and then you're promoted. But then when you finish elementary school, you're back at the bottom in the 6th grade.
proving yourself, fighting again to prove that you know the information and so that you can get promoted. And this keeps happening. So what I'm trying to illustrate is this. Even though in March, back in 2018, in that video, I discovered that I had the answers to the situation at hand, I graduated from that situation, and another situation presented itself on a different level, but also requiring me to use what I had already learned to prove or demonstrate that I indeed had learned it. My mom used to say, when she saw me and my sisters and brothers going through something over and over again, she'd come up to us and say, "There go that tree." And what she meant was, you're not learning something. Therefore, you keep going around and round. And when you finally learn it, you will not see that same tree again. Now, you might be presented with something else, something similar, some parts, some personalities, some fears, some different things that has to be addressed, seemingly the same situation, but you're also flexing different muscles. So that's what this video is about, and this is what I wanted to share with you in the end of this video. There are others. These messages inside the workbook have prompted me to create what I call vintage videos on my YouTube channel, In Touch Holistic TV. There's going to be a series of them dated back from 2017 and maybe farther back than that if I have a video on it and there's a lesson in it to be learned. I'm going to share it just in the way I have with this one and others, so that you can go on once you've joined and you have access to all of the vintage videos. Then hopefully you'll find some that resonate with you and that will be able to help you within the moment that you find yourself in. I hope a video will appear to be able to for you to connect with. I don't want to prolong this video. I just wanted to leave you this message. I'm glad that you're here. Keep fighting for yourself. Keep learning. No one is against you. All of this is happening on behalf of what you said you wanted. I don't know what that is, but you said you wanted something that stretches you beyond where you are now. So if you're listening to this video and it resonates with you, baby, you on your way. So buckle in, enjoy the ride. Don't be too hard on yourself. Control your emotions long enough to understand what the message is that it's bringing. I'm Dr. Stacy Parker. Thank you, and be well.